how would you specifically evaluate the job that law schools are doing these days? And are there any areas that you think need improvement as it pertains to students becoming lawyers, like coming of age?
Yeah, not great. And I don't necessarily think it's the law school's fault as much as it's the broader regulation of the profession's fault. I'm very much against the bar exam as a concept. I think that the bar exam exists almost as cover for bad law school behavior. We have this exam such that a law school can charge a bunch of money to a student, send them out in the world where they aren't able to practice, and we just rely on this test to catch that. I would much rather a world in which regulatory bodies were cracking down on law schools to make sure that everyone who graduates is ready to go immediately. That said, part of that getting ready to go immediately is the third year of law school is pretty useless as is. It could either, some people have called for cutting back the length of law school. I'm kind of on the side of keeping it at 3 years, but utilizing the third year. I think especially in a world where we might see the menial tasks of entry-level lawyers being curtailed, that might be an opening for law schools to do a better job of teaching that kind of practical learning. So far, to the extent anyone ever talks about practical legal education, they tend to be, throw them in a clinic or something like that. It's very kind of, shrug, they can sign a few papers. I think a more comprehensive vision, and one that is less litigation centric, because not every lawyer is going to be a litigator. What do we do to help train practically the people who are going to be writing wills or negotiating M&A deals and stuff like that? That work is going to have to go somewhere if the law firms stop doing it or replace it with AI. And that's a place where I think law schools could get ahead of the game. But there's not really a good incentive for any one law school to do that, because the whole system is set up to not reward them for doing that. So I have a much more, the whole system of how we get from 1L to licensed needs to be reformed